rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing this morning? It is a beautiful Monday. Oh my gosh, what an evening! I had a blast last night. I see one of my wonderful hosts in there in the chat this morning. Glad you could join us, Shizzy. Thanks, Paul Storm. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could. No, the pup's a little slow eating this morning. He's got some little digestive issues, and so he wasn't doing too well this morning. He was taking his damn sweet time eating, like one piece of rice at a time. Fun, I'll tell you. But it's good to see you guys this morning. I hope you got your coffee, because we're gonna run through a lot of stuff this morning. And it is a crazy thing. Happenings all over the place. There was I'll have to see if I've still got that here somewhere. I am pretty sure that I do have this. I saw this last night. It was I don't have it. Well, we'll talk about something else for a second then while I search that here. Man, I hate whenever that happens. Got a cool little story, and then I forget to pull it up. But I've warned you guys of this, that the time is coming. The time is coming where our politicians are gonna try to back out of showing support for Israel. It's gonna happen. And it may happen sooner rather than later, because they're preparing you for this. They're absolutely preparing you for this. It says Israel's wars are expensive. Paying the bill could force tough choices. The amount of money that we send to Israel and the amount of money, oh, I do. The amount of money that they're spending on Ukraine pales in comparison. It is, but here they are. Israel's wars are expensive. One of the top grievous toll in human life and misery. Israel's war against the Hamas and Hezbollah. No, it is not on the top. militant groups has been expensive, and the painfully high financial costs are raising concerns about the long-term effect of the fighting on the country's economy. Military spending has ballooned. Well, yeah, I mean, if you see the picture below, now you understand why that it is ballooned, because they're firing rockets into Israel. I mean, you fire rockets into Israel and you expect them not to respawn. Economists, are these the same economists? I'm curious, are these the same economists that said Trump coming in would ruin the economy? It would make the inflation go all to hell. Oh, absolutely. Most definitely, Michael, Magic Angel. Good to see you. Good to see you this morning. Hope everything gets going much better. He didn't startle. He just headed mail stud, which, oh, doggone, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. Oh. Economists say the country could be facing declining investments and higher taxes as the war strains government budget and forces tough choices between social programs and the military. Wait. I'm sorry. Social programs in the military. What would be a social program? Would a social program being telling men to chop junk off and women chop the breastages off? I mean, I understand. Oh, that's right. It is those economists. It has to be. It has to be the same economists that work for Alliance and work for a bunch of DEI expert companies that promote diversity, equity, inclusion, those kinds of social programs. It might just be, hey, Brandon, how's it going? Halfway to the office, wallet, halfway to some spot left on the counter. Brutal Monday morning. U-turn. Oh, I hate that. Spending on the military has soared. Israel's government is spending much per month on military, from $1.8 billion before Hamas started the fighting by attacking Israel on October 7th to around $4.7 billion by the end of last year, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Oh, let's look up the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Oh boy. Well, let's see what they're all about. And how much you want to bet they're a diversity, equity, and inclusion. I just have this feeling. Let's see. Statute, structure, international reach, research, communications, whistleblower policy. Let's see, vacancies. And let's see. It has no vacancies, publications. Let's see if they've got anything about these people. Yep, there it is. Found it. So this is written by the SIPRI, and it's so beautiful whenever you find these things, because nobody believes you whenever you tell this. Dr. Caroline Delgado and Dr. Simon Bunze in conflict-affected humanitarian settings where there are high levels of food insecurity, men and women face distinct challenges that can deeply affect gender relations. This is the group. Gender impacts of conflict of food insecurity, 3 humanitarian approaches for unintended gender impacts, food aid based on needs, instrumentation women for better aid delivery, food as a human right, going forward, a conflict sensitive. Oh, great. Yeah, that's this group that's talking about Israel's wars. It seems like they've got some issues. That's the first time it happens again. I'll get a fanny pack. Brandon with a fanny pack. That'll be funny. So yeah, this is a diversity, equity, inclusion believes that spending on military is way too damn much, that it's inequitable. It's not diverse enough. The government spent this amount of money last year, according to the Institute, ranking 15th globally behind Poland, but ahead of Canada and Spain. How much has Ukraine spent? How much have we sent to Ukraine? And that's just the U.S. Interesting. The war hurt growth in labor supply. Well, yeah, that's usually what happens with war. Usually. An economy partly rebounded with the growth of 4% in the first year, but grew only 0.2% in the second year. And then let's see, Israel's economic output shrank 5.6, the worst performance of any of the 38 countries in the Organization for Economic Cooperation. Oh, let's see who the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development is, because we've already pulled out one, which was this SIPRI, which is the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. News and events, Forum on Peace and Development, media, newsletters, experts, films, press releases. Oh, they've got films. Oh yeah, expert comments, essays. Oh, these people are just garbage, just absolute garbage. Because I guarantee you that I can look down in here. Yeah, they're not about peace. Trust me. If they were about peace, they would not be promoting this. They would not be promoting the shit out of this. But that's not what they do. All right, let's look for the better policies for better lives. This is the OECD. Let's see what we got. Let's see. This is the OECD, the next one that they're talking about. And it says policy papers and briefs. I'm doing no survey. Harnessing the green and digital transitions for gender equality. Damn, how in the hell am I able to pull this stuff up? In matter of minutes. Here it is right here. Harnessing the green and digital transitions for gender equality. This is their writing. The people that are writing for the AP are not journalists. They're getting this information for harnessing green and digital transitions for gender equality. Gender inequalities persist as a global challenge amidst the transition towards a green and digital future. These shifts towards environmental sustainability and digital societies mark a pivotal moment, offering significant opportunities to advance gender equality through new economic prospects and more diverse participation in decision-making processes. However, these transitions are highly existing gender disparities such as wage gap and limited participation in leadership roles in both private and public spheres. In addition, the digital transformation exposes women to technology-facilitated gender-based violence. What? What kind of word salad garbage is this? What are they talking about? The digital transformation exposes women to technology-facilitated gender-based violence. What is that supposed to mean? What kind of garbage is this that they're spewing out? To fully harness the opportunities presented by these global transitions, it's crucial to address labor market inequalities and ensure access to emerging job opportunities. I'm trying to think here. How many female roughnecks do you see? I'm just curious. I'm curious. How many female roughnecks do you see out there? Why? Because they generally can't handle that kind of work. It's awful, fucking horrendous work to be soaked in oil forever. I don't think it means what you think it means. Yeah. This is freaking stupid. So all of these people that they're talking about right here, all of these Organization for Economic Cooperation Development, all of these morons for the Stockholm Bureau of screw you, it is there to tell you that this now we got the World Bank says the West Bank's economy contracted by 25% in the first quarter. That's what happens in a war, you morons. This is why wars are bad. But what you're talking about is that Israel needs to give up. I'm telling you right now, our federal government if they're following any of these policies, they are doing more harm to our government. They're doing more harm to our people than anything. Because right now, I can't trust a single word that they're saying. Israel's economy is strong with modest debt. It's hardly collapsing. The country has diversified, highly developed economy and strong information technology. This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. This institute, this one garbage institute, another garbage institute, is telling you that they foresee debt of 80% GDP, assuming the fighting does not markedly intensify and some sort of ceasefire or conclusion can be reached. Yeah, why don't you guys like blow it out your ass? Yeah, that's my suggestion, because this whole thing that is written, I'm not even going to read this because it's absolute fluff piece garbage BS. It's absolute fluff piece garbage BS that's getting people ready to say, "Hey, we need to stop supporting an ally." This is the Palestinian movement that wants to basically wipe a certain nation off the planet. And I'm not going to promote AP doing this. No, they can suck a big left nut for all I care. They're already trying to other people. And I'm not having it. Oh, here we go. Some Jewish voters. Oh, some Jewish voters. Not all Jewish voters, but some Jewish voters. They're going to reconsider their longtime devotion to the plantation. Yeah. Harris, Pennsylvania, for Ronna Kaufman. The signs are everywhere that more Jews feel abandoned by the Democrat Party and may vote Republican. You think? It's in her Facebook feed. It's the discomfort she observed during. I'm surprised she hasn't gotten her Facebook removed, because you talk about these things on Facebook and they said no, we can't have that. Observed during a question and answer to recent Democrat Party campaign event in Pittsburgh. It's her own family, the family that's my generation, older generations. I don't think anybody is voting for Harris, and we've never voted Republican before, ever. Kaufman, 49, says, referring to Vice President Camel Toe, my sister has a Trump sign outside her house, and it's a huge shift. Really putting a sign up. Long time devotion to staying alive? Yeah. The family, that's my generation. Older generations don't think anybody's voting for Harris. Well, they're not. How big of a shift? Survey continue to find that most Jewish voters will still support the people that want to enslave them, and Kaufman acknowledges that she's an exception. Whoa, what? Still, any shift could have enormous implications in Pennsylvania, where tens of thousands of votes decided the past two elections. Well, don't worry about it. We already know that Camel Toe is losing bad. I mean, if anything shows it over the past weekend, over the past week, how much she's tanked. Her interviews, this is why Joe stayed in the basement. But they're calling for her. They're just like, come on, Camel Toe, get out there. You've got to get out there. You've got to get people. You got to get your message out. Except it's the same damn message. It hasn't changed. What is her message? Her message is Trump bad. Trump bad. That is her message. Here. You don't believe me? This is her message. It has been the whole damn time. Here. Don't believe me? This is every single one of her past rallies. Every single speech has been identical. Every single speech has been absolutely identical. She doesn't change. It is all about telling that Trump should not be behind. He should never be sitting behind the Resolute desk. Yeah. These articles are coming out because they know she's losing badly. Does not even begin to show how bad it is for her. These groups are really wanting her there. They want her there so bad. It is amazing to me how far they're going to push it. Well, the Jews represent a sliver in the voting age population of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, the so-called blue wall of states that Democrats have come to rely on in recent presidential elections. In close election, they are big enough constituency that the campaign of Harris and Trump see potential for any slippage to swing a close contest. Now, it seems to me that it's not Trump and it's not Harris. It is the political pundits that are out there saying these things. That has forced Harris to walk a line between traditional Democrat constituencies with the strong feelings about the war in Gaza, about Jews and Arab Americans. Wait, what? Jews and Arab? What? Why don't we correct their language here? Because if they were Jewish, they would be, and they're in America, then they would be their little othered Jewish Americans and Arab Americans. What happened over the past weekend? Wasn't there some recognition by the Muslim community to Donald Trump? I'm pretty sure that happened over the weekend. I'm almost positive that happened over the weekend. Balancing support for Israel and outrage over the deaths of the Israeli and Palestinian civilians and destruction in the region. How about balance? That there's a war going on. It's been going on for a lot longer than any of these politicians have been living. And that area is always going to be a pressure cooker. And sometimes you just got to release that valve a little bit. Israel to end its attacks. The Biden administration has been pressuring Israel to end its attacks. And let me repeat that again. The Biden administration has been pressuring Israel to stop its attacks. Why? Why would they want that to end? Because they need a win. They've lost on the economy. They've lost on social issues. They've lost 90% of their voting population. They've got to do something to stem the flow. They've been speaking to the same crowd for the past almost, 3 months since Harris committed a coup. Since then. And he'll be the best. Trump is looking to exploit the opening among Jewish voters. No, he doesn't have to. All he has to do is be Trump. That's it. And well, good luck to him. You might want to. You already voted. It wasn't for camel toe. Well, and if you guys do vote for her, just remember, you get what you vote for. That's the best way to put it. Which continued last week with the killing of Yanwar Sinwar, Wani Sinwar by Israeli troops. Yeah. That was pretty brutal. Let's put it that way. Trump has looked to exploit the opening among Jewish voters, especially saying Harris doesn't like Jewish people. True. I mean, we've seen how much she does not like anybody. She has big problems with people in this country, and the best way of describing it is watch this right here. This will make a lot more sense.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
See, if you didn't catch what was said, somebody in the crowd said Christ is king. How would that not be universal amongst her people? Imagine his name is Robin Mahfoud. This person right here was Robin Mahfoud that said Christ is king. I mean, I don't agree with that. That's not my personal beliefs. But look, imagine an entire audience, instead of showing any sort of love and respect for a fellow human being that's probably a Democrat voter, That was her response to them, was to mock and ridicule a Christian. That's a good percentage of your voting block, isn't it, Kamala? I mean, you would think that you would not want to. Robin, your food? Robin, oh, you're good. Good. I got you. I got you, Buck. You're good. It is a horrible joke, but it's pretty damn funny. Imagine doing this to your voting block. It would be, it is the most asinine thing to do. And the crowd just eats it up.
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Yeah, the attitude makes you feel real confident of how they feel about you. Just imagine if she feels like that about one person. Imagine how she feels about the entire block of the Christian community. That's everyone. That is a good portion of the United States that have those beliefs. That's so bad. That is absolutely ridiculous that she would say something like that at one of her rallies, and the crowd cheers it on. It makes me wonder why they feel that it's necessary to just disregard a good portion of their political constituencies. But in the past, surveys have shown that Jews vote Democrat. A Pew Research Center held, I don't care what the Pew Center said, because each election is going to be different. The question is whether that has changed as Jews now see Israel's survival in a new light as its war within Hamas widens to Hezbollah and possibly Iran. That has put a new focus on relationship between Israel and the U.S., which continues to provide military aid, and many Jewish people say rising acts of anti-Semitism in the United States. Anti-Israel protests sweeping across cities and college campuses, including Philadelphia, have made them feel unsafe. I wouldn't report her for calling me stupid. I mean, seriously. Probably paid for a majority of people at the rally. What are the odds there would be that many anti-Christians in the crowd? Well, see, she thought it was going to be a slam on Donald Trump because the way that they view Donald Trump voters is that they worship their guns almost as much as they worship their God. That is their feeling. They have disregard for human life and for any personal beliefs that you have because you're not part of the collective. Become part of the collective and you'll understand. I mean, here we go. Look, I mean, all you have to do is look at the next line in this. The question is whether this has changed as Jews now see Israel's survival in a new light is a war with Hamas, widens to Hezbollah, possibly Iran. In Philadelphia, there's college campuses in Philadelphia have made them feel unsafe. In Pennsylvania, still fresh in many minds, is a pewer absorbed by this is not true. The Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh in 2018. Where did the KKK come from? If you want to go back to the roots of this, it was in the Democrat Party. They did not, apparently they still don't. As Pennsylvania plays a central role in the election, many say they've never seen such outreach from campaigns as they have now. Well, because the Harris campaign is desperate. From Trump on down, Republicans are attempting, it is not It is not. It is the, okay. My neighborhood, over the past, what, 2.5 weeks, I've received more camel toe Harris flyers and door knockers than I have Trump. By about 90%. I think I've received maybe one flyer, but I'll open up my mailbox. There will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, possibly 10 different camel toe Harris flyers. It's like they are really trying to promote them. They do really well for the fire. It's amazing to me that they would waste that much money on things like trying to promote her. But hey, it really helps for the fire pit. From Trump on down, Republicans are attempting to win over Jewish voters by highlighting the Democrat Party, how horrible it is. Unconditional support for Israel. They don't have any support for Israel that I've seen. Growing factions accused Israel of war crimes in Gaza, calling for Israel to unconditionally stop attacking Hamas and demand that the U.S. end its military support for Israel. That's part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion that they've been doing the whole time. Oh, well, look at you, Mel Klump. Watch the documentary Sacrificing, I think they meant Liberty, but I think I got you. If you're interested in Israel's United States relationship, there you go. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Mel. Thank you so much. You don't get those flyers. This is a deep red part of the state. Well, but that's where you want to hit people, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you're deep red. Wouldn't you, you're trying to get people to vote for your side. Wouldn't you think that would be the place that you'd want to go? You don't need to hand out flyers to people that you already know in your voting block. That would make no sense. That's stupid. Why would you do that? They're already voting for you anyway. You're trying to get the, oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They can't. This campaign is disorganized. They're also running a lot of ads in New Jersey. I get we're replacing me gold bars, but that shouldn't be her priority. Yes, that's very true. Mr. Goldbars. I think that, we are replacing Mr. Goldbars. They don't bother here. Oops. Morning, Roxanne. Morning, Ginger. Freckle Ginger. I would think I think that folks that are reluctant to Trump voters feel scared as Jews in this country, said Jeremy Casas, as a Pittsburgh resident and Harris supporter. Reluctant Trump voters who feel scared as Jews in this country. Casas, however, said Harris has a long record of fighting anti-Semitism. No, she doesn't. She has no record of fighting anti-Semitism. She has a record for attacking anybody of religious faith. Anyone. She has a long record of that. He pointed out that the Biden administration tapped her husband. That's not all that tapped her husband. I'm sure there was a few other guys that were knocking on his back door, who is Jewish. Yeah, but he's shown undying support for Palestine. Just saying. A lead to task force to develop a strategy to fight anti-Semitism well before Hamas attacked Israel. Yeah. Emhoff has been slapping women around for decades. I mean, he's been a Keir Surrogate campaigning in front of Jewish audiences in Philadelphia. So he's a token Jew, huh? Well, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it a couple of Christmases ago, and that one didn't work out very well, was where they were talking about celebrating Kwanzaa and yeah. And what was the other one? Now it's going to slip my mind, the Jewish holiday around Christmas. Yeah, that one. Hanukkah. Yeah, that's what it was. So we celebrate both. You notice they didn't say anything about it the following year. Yeah, they got blasted for that. Which is funny, being that she's Indian. So what do they celebrate at Christmas for Indian? if you're Indian. I don't know. Probably something interesting. Emhoff has been a key surrogate campaigning in front of Jewish audiences and speaking at the groundbreaking of a new complex replacing the Tree of Life Synagogue. A new complex. Still, where Harris's supporters see strong support of Israel, for instance, the Biden administration sent a terminal high-altitude area defense battery to Israel along with the troops needed to operate it. Others see conditional support. That includes Biden urging Israel not to hit Iran's nuclear program or oil fields. Well, good luck with that. And her remarks, the anniversary of Hamas attack, Harris said she'll always ensure that Israel has what it needs to defend itself, except they're working on scaling everything back. We just got to scale it a little bit back. We're sort of overspending in Ukraine. Yeah. Steve Rosenberg of Philadelphia, who voted for Trump. I don't care what Steve did. Some see Trump's efforts on January 6th to stay in power as a threat. What does this have to do with anything? Oh, that's right. They got to ramp that up again. January 6th. Huh. Are we talking about January 6th, 2016? 2015? Isn't that right? Was it 2016, 2015? Where on January 6th that the people that Harris supports and got out of jail raised money for those people right there that came in and burned down most of Washington whenever Trump won. I guess we don't talk about that because not that January 6th that lasted for weeks. It wasn't just one night. January 6th lasted for a few hours, whereas these people have never been arrested or found guilty or anything of destroying businesses in Washington. Janice said Jews she knows are excited that a woman could be president. What does what sex you are have anything to do with competency? Because I don't see any competency there with her. Like no competency at all. It's just not there. As much as you like to think there is, there's none. No, none at all. There we go.
Should never again have the privilege of standing behind the seal of the President of the United States.
Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
Never again. Never again.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah!
Never again. Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged. Never again.
May not be a union member. You better thank a union member.
Never again.
For the 5-day work week, you better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave.
Never again.
You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged. Standing behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again.
It just kills me every time. But my favorite that I was watching this last night. I realized it was in my feed, and Kaiser was like, "Did you see this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw this. Here we go. Check this out. Oh, this is hilarious."
Ms. Harris, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll see how this goes for you.
Mrs. Harris, how many people do you believe have crossed the borders and... Miss Harris. Pamela, please. Mrs. Vice President, it's a simple question.
I'm speaking. Excuse me, I'm speaking.
I apologize. All right, well, I'm just gonna say it. She destroyed him. Oh my gosh. Right? Oh golly, he's so embarrassed. I bet those Republicans are regretting that one. Kamala, Kamala, Kamala.
I just loved it. Oh, I loved it. That made me laugh. Oh, so hard. So much. It's like the Al Smith dinner. It'll take a minute for you to get it, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Yep, you'll see it eventually. Enjoy. Oh, that just kills me every damn time. Sorry. Oh God. Just makes me laugh every damn time. Every damn time. And of course, this weekend, what did Trump do? He showed up at McDonald's.
A lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Look at all the fake news over there. Hello, everybody.
You can fake this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
We'll keep it
Please,
good.
Please, please.
We're going to make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Mr.
Compliments
President.
of Trump.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you over there. Have a good
Oh my
time.
God.
Have a good time.
Thank
Nice
you.
to
You
see you.
too.
Bye,
Thank
darling.
you.
Have a good time. Thank you. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what Trump did this weekend. Reminds me of YouTube police encounter with an out of control 13-year-old. That's funny. What is YouTube police encounter with an out of control 13-year-old with a just huh? I don't know what that is, but all I could picture was the screaming ghost. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's what Trump did this week. And here's something you probably won't see the mainstream media reporting. That's right. That right there was the Pittsburgh Stadium erupting in chants for Trump, screaming out USA. They tried that at the Harris rally, and they were just like, well, that makes you sound a lot like Trump. Why? Why is it? It's a bit funny. He's McTrumpin'. McTrumpin', that's awesome. It's a bit funny how she and the left claims that to say her name in any other way than camel toe is racist, especially if pronounced camel toe. Also, the standard Hindu. Yeah. Is that push start or pull start? I always forget. Gotta love it. He's trumping it. That's why I call her camel toe, because I can't say her name right. Of course, I can't say certain things right either. You know, it just is amazing to me that it seems that they've got everything misconstrued about Trump, and it's been constant. It's been pretty damn constant. Trump boosts a hard-right Christian worldview that paints the election as spiritual warfare. Well, let's read more. How is this that? Livonia, Michigan, standing before hundreds of people in a suburban Detroit chapel, an event organized by Trump's campaign, Marlon J. Reed declared that God has called on them to vote for the former president. Well, good for him. You're being called upon to stand and face down this darkness and face down these lies and refuse to stop speaking, but to speak up and stand up and make it known that we are not going to take this, said Reed, the pastor of New Wine Glory Ministries in Livonia, Michigan. We're not going to lie down. We're not going to allow you to take our country and take our rights and our freedoms. How is that anti-religion? Hmm. Like the Borg, the DNC have adapted. Remember the DNC conviction for Obama, where on night one, it was noticed by millions that not one American flag was flying. Night number two had flags. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I need to get some more coffees. That is absolutely true. Good to see you, Maximura. You get some rest, brother. You get some rest. Have a nice evening. Yes, you do, brother. You have a nice evening, Mr. Mira. Even if it means war, we're not going to allow you to take it, Reid said to Cheers. Trump's campaign has directly nourished a fusion of hard right politics and theology. Wait, that's not... Are you saying that believing in God is far right? That's why, because they don't have any belief in God. They don't believe that God gave you your rights. They think that government gave you your rights. Weird. The campaign has launchers a Believers for Trump program and conducted several calls with conservative faith leaders. I mean, I don't agree with the faith leaders or all of that stuff, but that doesn't mean I don't vote for who I think is going to do the best job for our country. Weird to me that they believe that if you believe in God, then the Democrat Party isn't for you. Well, that would eliminate about let's see, it would eliminate the Jews for voting for him because, well, if I'm not mistaken, they have the same belief in God. It would separate all of the Christian bloc away from you because, well, they believe in God. Even atheists believe in God. So you notice how they're always against God, but in order to be against something, you would have to believe in it. Weird, huh? Weird how that works. Again, the Constitution tells government what they can and can't do, not the people. The Believers for Trump initiative includes outreach to black voters, a traditionally Democrat constituency, with Trump has tried to increase. Well, there's a reason why they've voted Democrat for quite some time, but that changed with Martin Luther King. They stopped voting Democrat. Satanists believe in God. Yeah. A longtime Trump surrogate who is housing secretary, Carlson urged evangelicals not to shy away from what he called corrupt earthly politics. Ben Carson. Unless Jesus Christ is on the ballot, you're always choosing between the lesser of two evils, Carson said to the applause. That's why God gave you a brain. But it seems to me that Harris supporters don't believe in having a brain. That's what I get from it. Who spoke at Republican National Convention, whose Detroit church hosted a black conservative roundtable with Trump over the summer, rallied the crowd and proclaimed that the United States must remain a Christian country. I don't know about being a Christian country. That would promote one side of the aspect, because then if it's just a Christian country and it's not a country belief in God, then that eliminates anybody that doesn't follow the teachings of Christ. That would be completely different, which would eliminate me, because I'm not Christian, but I do believe in God. Completely different. It's a hard stretch of the mind, but I guess for these Harris voters, that's what they believe in. Democrats have always also stepped out the outreach. I thought this said to hamburgers. I need some more coffee. Let's take a slight break because my brain is not functioning at 110% this morning. That's pretty bad. Whenever my brain is not functioning at 110% and I can still read between the lines, good Lord Almighty. All right, I'll be back in less than 3 minutes. Enjoy a little bit of coffee break.
get a tan. Rambo the orangutan, driving a golf cart. Oh man, Rambo is half crazy, yes he can. Well, that SOB's a sight to F and see. Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Whoa, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is a, that is too dirty to say here, Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Otters in the surf, hummingbirds in the sky. Rambo honks the horn and spits in Shizzy's eye. Oh my! Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast.
Oh, yes, they are. Man, oh man, oh man. Sorry, I couldn't move as fast as I normally do. I went to go run up the stairs and it was like, man, I can't even walk right. My legs are so tired. That's what happens whenever you spend on your hands and knees doing tile all damn weekend. That was my weekend. Well, except for the end of it. Then I dug up a sweet baby magnolia for the wife and a couple of oak leaf hydrangeas. Hooray! Oh, yes, nice coffee this morning. Good stuff. Here we go. So I'm reading through this. It says churches in African American communities have long conducted souls to the polls efforts to mobilize black voters. Black pastors have a traditional speaking on political issues with moral and spiritual lens. Similarly, conservative evangelical pastors have often frankly discussed opposition to the deleting of children in the past, but refrained officially from endorsing GOP candidates. Democrats have also stepped up outreach to church-going voters. On Friday, the DNC hosted a call to launch its Souls to Polls effort with the civil rights activist Martin Luther King. Wait, Martin Luther King Jr. was Republican. Wait, I guess people forgot that Martin Luther King Jr. was Republican. Wild, huh? Doing tile on your knees, that's what you call it these days. I guarantee you it was. It was a lot of damn work. Trust me on this. You don't want to go down that you really don't want to go down that one. And I'll explain what I mean here. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the tile that I laid this weekend. Okay. So yeah, don't start with me. That's a lot of damn tile. Not fun to do, and I'm telling you, my body is sore from doing this. That is a lot of damn work. Exhausting and damned rough. There you go. just so everybody is like wondering, did you really lay tile? Been there, done that. Tile is no fun. Yeah. That was my weekend. So last weekend was grinding the porch down, and then this weekend was laying the tile out on it. So that, yeah. At least we had good weather. There wasn't rain or snow, and the temperature was nice. So, but hey, now that every muscle in my body hurts this morning because of it. Well, not every muscle, just most of them. And of course, Harris has visited black churches this month because she went to New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. Oh yeah, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. If you're wondering about New Birth, oh yeah, I've done some stuff for New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, and let me just give you an idea of what New Birth Missionary Baptist Church is all about. There we go. If you're wondering, it's in not the nicest part of Atlanta, and let me see if I can bring this up here. It's not letting me show it. Flash, open this up, open. Where is it? Website. Here we go. If you're wondering about New Birth, let's pull it up. I hate when they do this. And we're going to talk about, we'll just give you an idea about New Birth. New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. Oh yeah, about New Birth. Here's what New Birth is all about. Pastor Carla Stokes, Pastor Carrie Turner, Keverance Ross, Jonathan Nelson, and Tiffany Boone. Of course, the Flames of Pentecost, the Names of God, Shofar, Women of Valor. Yeah, this is what New Birth is about. By the way, he's called the pastor of internet. Pastor Carrie Turner is pastor of cardiology. Carla Stokes is the pastor of biology. Jonathan Nelson is the director of worship, and Tiffany Boone is the minister of music. And if you're looking at them going, wow, they look like they're very well dressed. Well, that would be because these folks right here, they're multimillionaires off of New Birth. They drive around in brand new cars, brand new Escalades, brand new BMWs. Yeah. Their outreach includes making sure that they've reached out to all of their constituents. And let me see if I can pull this up. And let's see if I've got it here. New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. Like, if you saw the photos from the inside of it, you would be amazed how interesting. Yeah, it's not allowing me to pull it up. Yeah, they have images of New Birth, and let's see if we got this. There you go. If you've never seen the inside of a mega church, if you've never seen the inside of a mega church, there you go. Here's the inside of a mega church. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, it is one of the, let's just give a quick description here. This right here, the north lobby is 6,642 square feet. The gymnasium is 77,753 square feet, located off of I-20 in the heart of Lithonia, convenient to downtown area. The sanctuary is 58,203 square feet. The lower level is seats 3,948. Seats in the balcony is 2,408. Seats totaling 6,000 people. And then there's also another 487 seats in the chapel. Yeah, this is a mega church. Speaking of nice arenas, I just got a jury summons for a court in beautiful spray painted and bullet riddled area, and they haven't kicked you out of the pool yet. I love it. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yeah, that's New Birth is not the place that you want to be showing yourself, and it gets packed. It gets absolutely packed. But, you know, they do the Lord's work. Sure. The engagement of voters and faith voters in the 2024 election underscores the unprecedented blending of partisan politics with Christianity. But she does not like Christians. She said that before. She said that just the other day. Good morning, Starzy. Good to see you. Eek now. At the close of the event, with Carson, Reed boasted that the gathering had already prompted some backlash online for bringing politics into a religious space. What? So wait. Bringing politics into a religious space is bad for Republicans, but it's good for Democrats? I'm getting attacked on Facebook. I'm being told by several people I'm going to jail and I'm breaking the law. You can't have politics in church. He noted that he had not registered his church as a nonprofit that has to remain officially nonpartisan specific so he could say what he wanted. I knew this day was coming long ago. We're a different kind of charter. Trump and conservative Christians have embraced each other. A former New York playboy who once viewed with deep skepticism by evangelical Christian leaders, Trump is now embraced as a champion of freedom. Has nothing. Religion is just a small portion of that. He believes in freedom for Americans. I mean, if you want to get off the plantation of the Democrat Party, it's really damn easy to do. You just vote differently. You can vote that stuff out of existence. Whenever they see how bad that they're doing, which is pretty damn bad this election cycle, they just won't change. Instead, they go on the attack using places like AP, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News. It just goes down the list of how much they really do not like you. As much as they're talking about the religion aspect of this, that Trump is gaining steam in religious groups, then why is Harris going to places like New Birth? It seems like this is just a slam on those, on you. Your freedom of religion is going to be attacked also. They're wanting to take that away also. And as they talk about religion, what do they say here? Oh, no, it's completely different. Abortion has passed inflation as the top election issue for women under 30. Where? Where is that become a number one issue? Oh, women under 30. Ah, gotcha. Let's read a little bit more. Abortion has passed inflation become the top issue for the presidential election for only for women under 30. The rest of the women, they're just like, we don't like you killing children. Vice President Camel Toe replaced Joe Biden at the top Democrat. No, she replaced. She had a coup against Biden. About 2 in 5 groups of young voters said that abortion was their top concern, but it doesn't say which way they believe. Whether maybe they don't want to be killing the children. In the earlier edition, inflation was the top concern for younger voters, but they don't say how young. And of course, what is this? KFF. Let's see. A survey of female voters by KFF. What the fuck is KFF? I'm wondering what KFF is. Do they ever tell you inside this? KFF. I've never heard of KFF. What is KFF? Google search for KFF. Let's see what KFF is. Oh. KFF is part of the Affordable Care Act. Gotcha. I gotcha. I can't talk about this. Sorry. I would talk about this story, but I can't talk about this story. There's a reason why I can't talk about this story, and it sucks. It sucks. Thank you, YouTube, for the strike saying that I was spreading medical misinformation. I wasn't, asshole. But they don't care about that. No, it's not. It isn't. KFF is sorry, give me a second. KFF is a very particular group, and it is a nonprofit organization focused on health policy. They conduct their own research, polling, journalism, specialized in health information. We're unique in the way we bring together, and I'm not showing it for a reason. They say that they're not about any particular group, but it shows it. Their first thing here is abortion in the U.S. and health policy 101. KFF promotes diverse, inclusive workplace. Here, I can share this part. This is what KFF is all about. It says it right here. It says it all right here. KFF actively promotes a diverse and inclusive workspace with every aspect that provides equal employment opportunities to all qualified applicants and employees in every phase of employment without race, blah, 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 which they have to say. But whenever you say gender expression, you've already eliminated what you were saying. Whenever you have to say sexual orientation, then you've already gone against the very first part. Right there. The very first part of it, you just undid it by talking about that. Just saying, you've already eliminated it. And of course, they have their health misinformation analyst. Yeah, that's what I got dinged for with the YouTubes. It was saying that I was spreading medical misinformation because, according to them, I didn't show both sides of the story, which I show both sides of the story. But there's no appeal, there's no arguing with them, and you just have to deal with it. Yeah. So remember when we were talking about this about a week ago, we were saying, hey, that the amount of immigration coming into this country is bad for this country. We're not talking about coming to this country legally, crossing the border, handing in and taking a work visa, or somebody that wants to move to this country and become part of this beautiful melting pot of different beliefs that we have in this country. We're talking about people coming here illegally, and they said that the Hispanic community that's coming in, the people, the border jumpers, the illegals, they're not taking your jobs. Nope, that would be absolutely a lie. They are not taking your jobs. Well, the AP just proved that was a lie. They just proved it was a lie right here. Immigrants help power America's economy. Will the election value or imperil them? Wait, so you said that they weren't taking the jobs, but in Baker, Nevada, a few things say America, like Janelle and Tom Baker's ranch with its grazing cattle, scrub brush dotted desert, and snow-capped mountains, if only they could get American citizens to work on it. You can. But see, illegal immigrants and migrant workers are two different things. The ranch's remote eastern Nevada produces around 10,000 tons of hay annually and combines cowboy culture with a dash of manifest destiny. Rabbits, gophers, and occasional badger always outnumber humans in the nighttime sky is dark enough to count the stars. But the baker's business couldn't survive without the agricultural guest worker program. Those are not immigrants. Those are migrant workers. AP, you need to learn the difference between a migrant worker, an immigrant, and an illegal. There's 3 different things. Don't bundle them all up together. I told you changing the language is going to make it very, very, very difficult to understand this. That brings Mexican migrants for about 9 months a year to help harvest crops in fields where temperatures frequently exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit. When people complain that foreign workers are taking their jobs, we're not talking about migrant workers. We're talking about all the illegals that you brought into this country. In any industry, everybody's trying to find help. So this anti-immigration, no, there is, you dummies, there is no anti-immigration stance. It's anti-illegal stance. Get it right, AP. It doesn't make sense to me. If everyone needs workers, how are you planning to fill those jobs? By hiring Americans. If you can't hire Americans, well, then you need to maybe raise what you're paying them. The ranch follows federal rules that require advertised available positions and making them available first to U.S. citizens. But in the last 6 years, only 2 Americans called to inquire about the jobs. A third trekked out in person, but left after seeing what the work entailed. Well, that's called conflating. Let me guess the haters are at it again. Well, haters, shizzy this side. What? Start with your, what are you talking about? I'm sorry, I'm confused. If there, I guess there's some sort of side conversation going on. Kaiser Family Foundation. Did I miss something? I guess I did. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm confused. Maybe somebody said something. I don't know. The ranch follows federal rules that require advertised and available positions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Immigration has become the source of fright and frustration for voters in this presidential election. How's that? Like I said, there is no problem with immigrants. I have got no issues. The left has no issues. The right has no issues with immigrants. We're all in agreement here. Immigrants is a good thing. Adding people to our country to become Americans is a beautiful thing. Jumping the line and jumping the border illegally, I think we can all agree that that's not something that you want to see. With possible outcomes that could take the United States down 2 dramatically different paths. There's only one path for America is stay American. Nowhere are the stakes higher than Nevada, really. I would say the heart and soul of our country is at stake, wouldn't you? If we're allowed to be conquered by another country without ever firing a shot. The influx of illegals has strained city and state resources across the nation. Wait, didn't they say that that's not happening? See, right there. What? Huh? But they said this isn't happening. AP, are you changing your mind now? And yet, illegals has fueled job growth in ways that strengthen the economy. How? How does illegals fuel the economy? Because you can't have both things happen at the same time. That the influx of illegals has strained city resources across the nation, even in Democrats' little neck of the woods. But they're saying that it's fueled job growth. It's okay. Yeah, FEMA does have plenty of money for the illegals. And yet it doesn't do anything to improve our fiscal health. And the federal government is screwing you. So, black and white, in the candidates' rhetoric, immigration is actually incredibly complex in reality. No, it is not. If you're saying that immigration is complicated, then if you maybe use the same terms, it only becomes complicated whenever you don't understand what immigration means. Immigration would be that you immigrate to another country. You become part of its citizenry, and you do it legally. That's not what's happening here. What you have is a bunch of illegals jumping the fence, not going about it legally, and then you have an administration that's trying to make it legal for them to do that and promoting them to jump fences, to jump the line, to get here as soon as they possibly can. Voters say it's among the most important issue in November. No. I thought it was abortion was the most important issue. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Lilu. It is not the most important issue in America. How about the economy? How about the fact that we've lost more people due to fentanyl in this country in the past 4 years? What happened to those 400,000 children that have disappeared since Biden opened up the borders? Is that not of a concern? Kids just disappeared as they opened up the border. There's a lot of fear, said Nancy, a 40-year-old maid who works at the Strat Casino. There are people that don't have papers and they want to throw us out. No, if you don't have papers, yes. If you're not here legally, then you should be thrown out. I doubt that Nancy, this 40-year-old maid, I doubt that she's not without being here legally. Because if she doesn't have the paperwork, she would be sent back to her country. She could not be employed. Venezuela plans to vote for Harris. Why would Venezuela? Oh, it's Venezuela. That's her name. Plans to vote for Harris, but others can only watch and hope their way of life isn't turned upside down. So she's here legally. See, this is the problem with the left spreading the disinformation of things that are not true. If you don't have papers, bye-bye. You can still commit crimes without papers. Absolutely. Absolute sweeps away nuance. If Trump deported 11 million illegals in the U.S., as he has suggested, the collateral risk could extend to the entire economy. How's that? How would that affect our economy? Seems to me that there would be plenty of job openings. What are you saying, that we don't have enough people here? Well, maybe if you stop deleting them, we would have more people here. You know, it's really hard to explain. Do you know how places like Chicago, Michigan, New York, all of those places right there become really well populated with a lot of people because there were job opportunities. Okay, a lot of job opportunities to come work in the cities, and they took those people out of the rural areas. They turned them into slaves in the city, where they worked under some of the worst conditions. If you're wanting to see that shift and people get back out and start working out in the sun and start helping that part of the economy grow, all you have to do is open up the jobs and eliminate the jobs where nobody is working anymore. How many people do you think that live or are working in Detroit? Used to work at auto plants. Maybe they could learn how to run a hay baler instead of going after each other with pistols and rifles that are obtained illegally. How about they take their ass back to work? But that wouldn't be appropriate now, would it? in our wonderful 24-hour economy know that these hotels and casinos could not and should not, would not be able to open every day without illegals. Is that what they're saying? Oh, that's right. They can't work there. Time to leave Michigan. I'm just saying. How many pew pew happen in those cities too daily? Yeah. But if just imagine if you had guaranteed work for 9 months out of the year, wouldn't you go do that job? Like to feed your family? The auto workers put themselves out of work. Well, but that would be the problem. They would go to places like Texas, Nevada, that have where they could actually get work done, where they could make money. But they would bitch and moan about it. It was too hard. It was too difficult. No, it's not. Well, once you get used to those hours, you realize, wow, I feel good about a day's work. I mean, there's a sense of pride that comes with it. But oh no. You got to do your TikTok. Harris called for humane treatment at the border, particularly for children and families, because, well, they're just going to disappear anyway into the system. But she always promised to revive bipartisan package that Trump forced congressional Republicans. How did Trump do this? This is another lie that they're telling you. The left is telling you that Trump did something that he didn't do. Biden administration orders have imposed. Wait, now? Wait, didn't they say that they needed to have that they couldn't do this? But that's what they did, right in time for an election. They imposed asylum restrictions when the border is overwhelmed, which they could have done 4 fucking years ago. They could have done this as soon as they took office, but they didn't. Instead, he sent Harris on a fishing expedition to handle border situation in Brazil, Venezuela. Yeah, they sent her completely as far away from anywhere in the border that they possibly could. Nobody cares about the AP's their North poll, because it is probably going to be biased in the worst possible way. No issue with people who want to come here legally. That's what Trump has said multiple times. Bipartisan support for stricter border security, which the left has denied multiple times. Oh, you can't get anyone to come and do the work, which is a lie. We've already proven that wrong. Janelle Baker, 51, is no fan of Trump, but also has at times become exasperated with Biden's administration's regulations. Those include small things like immigrant living quarters being required to have screen doors despite being air conditioned and already equipped with screens on the windows. It's a hot potato, and each side's lobbying one side or the other, and in all honesty, both are to blame. There's going to come a point where it has to get taken care of. You can't just keep using fear-mongering and scaring people, then being critical of people who do or don't want to do whatever jobs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But of course, the AP has it right again, in the best possible way, because they say most voters think the economy is poor, but split on whether Trump or Harris can fix it. Wait, didn't the AP just say that abortion was the number one issue, that Israel was the number one issue? What is the number one issue? Everything that the Democrats have fucked up over the past 4 years. That's what the number one issue is. That is the best description that I can give of what the issue is. It comes down to this. The Republican platform: free enterprise, secure borders, honest elections, real journalism, ethical judiciary, civil rights, moral standards, personal liberty. What's the Democrat platform? Hate Trump. Again. It's amazing to me that people have forgotten that we should be working together to make this country better, but that doesn't happen. That's not happening anymore. This is the kind of things we have to rely on.
Welcome, Mr. Matthews.
Hey, all right. I see cowards. First off, quit smiling. Why are you smiling? All I see, the one girl that went to the bathroom and went to the office to try to have something done about it, they said they couldn't do it because of Title IX, correct? Well, there is something you can do. You could create policy that goes out to the girls and says they can use the staff bathroom. One person on this board with a conversation told me that they can't turn away the girls from the staff bathroom. So why aren't you doing anything? My daughter, right here, sweetheart, tell these people, do you want a little boy to watch you pee?
No,
No. Why?
because it's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate. My 8-year-old daughter knows it's inappropriate, and yet y'all sit there silent. One of you told me that your personal views don't align with the views you show to the public. You're cowards. That is not how you do it. That should show every parent in this county that you are not fit to sit on this board. Every one of you. Tell me you didn't say that this is not your job, that it should be left up to the ethics committee. I've heard you say, it's not my job. When it came to the books being in these schools, it is your job to look over who's in charge of catching those books. All you do is smile. Rob, I don't have a problem with you, but this has got to stop, because I'm going to tell you, y'all come up here and talk about vaping and the dangers of vaping. If a little boy follows my daughter in that bathroom and touches her, you will have a new radar of dangers. This is ridiculous. You're opening up opportunity for problems to happen. You either create a new bathroom for those who are confused, or you send them to the staff bathroom. It's a very simple problem. We don't change policy for tens of thousands of people to accommodate. There is no problem what people do on their personal level. That is not my business, nor your business, nor anybody's business. That is their choice. But I tell you what, I want to prove that you're all hypocrites, because each of you ladies, I want you to invite your husbands, and let's go to the bathroom, and I want them to watch me watch you use the bathroom, and let's see if they get mad. Let's prove to the public the hypocrites that sit on this board. Because I bet you'll get mad when I watch your wife, your husband will get mad when I watch you, your husband would feel the same as I would about my wife. Now stand up and do something. You're so scared of losing federal funding, it's ridiculous. Every single one of you is cowards. And we keep coming up here year after year with the same clique. There's one woman on this board that stands up for the people and the kids. That's a role model. Y'all should listen and pay attention. Is why she gets the votes. We won't put a single Laura Lindsay sign out and she'll get the votes. Kenny Workman is the exact example of a man whose feelings are hurt because the right questions were asked. There, I called him out.
Well, thank you.
There you go. That's how men need to be taking control of this again. Taking control of that situation. But no, that's not what we're being taught. What we're being taught is this garbage right here.
Is actually for all men. You know, I think men are in crisis, actually, in this country. I think that plays out different ways. And not all men are in crisis, of course. And not all men are just at home listening to Joe Rogan, being angry or being recruited to fascism. Some just need therapy, like we all do. I go to therapy, that's great. But I think we need to have a real conversation about that rather than allowing this kind of drift toward this faux masculinity that we see Donald Trump evincing.
And what I see is
actually for all men. You know,
Really? I can honestly say the last time that I sat down and had time to listen to unintelligent. Last time I sat down and listened to anything Joe Rogan had to say, I think he was doing an interview with Elon. I think that's the last time, and that's been a while. Because Joe Rogan doesn't form my beliefs. He's just saying what other people are already believing. That's it. That's all he's doing. She gets to define masculinity. Well, let's discuss faux feminism. There you go. Yesterday, Christopher Rufo published an article accusing Vice President Kamala Harris of plagiarizing her 2009 book, Smart on Crime, A Career in Prosecutors' Plan to Make Us Safer. In his article, he cited 5 passages in the book that bore strong similarities to earlier works. That day, New York Times called me and asked me to examine those 5 publicly available passages. I studied the passages and found that they were indicators of poor writing processes, but did not make up a large portion of the work. As such, while I agree that the passages represent plagiarism and are issues that need to be addressed, they're relatively minor as far as plagiarism goes. At the time, I was unaware of a full dossier with alleged additional allegations, which led some to accuse the New York Times of withholding that information from me. However, the article clearly stated that it was my initial reaction to those allegations, not a complete analysis. Today, I reviewed the complete dossier prepared by Stephen Weber, whom I have covered before, and also performed a peer review of one of his papers in 2018. With this new information, while I believe this case is more serious than I commented to the New York Times, the overreaching points remain. Yeah, it was plagiarism. She plagiarized her book, or somebody did. But of course, women aren't supposed to have an opinion, right?
Kamala Harris, you are the perfect example as to why the notion that women are too emotional to be holding high positions in government exists. Didn't look like you were bringing much joy to that interview, did you? No, not a single cackle. I guess it really isn't that funny when you're not used to being asked legitimate, tough questions, and therefore it shows how unqualified, unpresidential, irredeemable, and out of your league you are. From the woman that constantly preaches, must be unburdened by what has been. She sure seems burdened to me. She's asked about the horrendous border that was supposed to be her job to maintain, and she blames Trump. She's questioned on Biden's mental cognition, and she accuses Trump of being unstable. Her idea of accountability is blaming everything on the man that hasn't seen the inside of the White House in 4 years. Americans are unhappy with the state of the country because of you, the Biden and Harris administration. You can't deflect the issues that you caused while still wanting to show that you remain in control. She's nothing but an empty vessel when it comes to policy, and nobody with a functioning brain should be voting for her.
Well, we're not supposed to listen to women. Isn't that what we're being told? That women are not intelligent enough to this? No, women are pretty smart when it comes to it. But they do want to take away the agency for women. Amazing that is what they believe. But think about this. This is something that I'm not a biologist, so I don't know what a woman is. Be right back. Listening. Oh, here you go. This is awesome.
If you are a liberal and can't stand Trump and can't possibly fathom why anyone would want to vote for him, let me fill you in. We can't stand you. You've done everything in your power to try and destroy this country by tearing down our police, our borders, our history, systematically destroying our schools and brainwashing our kids into thinking that socialism is the answer to everything, demonizing religion and faith, and glorifying abortion, violence, and thug culture. From calling us racist to expecting everyone of every color to follow our laws, to ridiculing us for having the audacity to wish someone a Merry Christmas, or hang a flag on the 4th of July, or stand for our national anthem, or, oh, the horror, wear a MAGA hat out in public. So much for your tolerance. We are voting for Trump not because he's the most charming character on the block, but because we vote policy over personality. And we are sick and tired of your divisive and destructive and ignorant and intolerant behavior and beliefs parading around as some kind of wokeness. We are voting for Trump because of you.
And think about this. That was 4 years ago today. 4 years ago today. That was during the 2020 election that was filmed. But of course, if Trump is elected, he's going to arrest the opposition.
And my question is this: are you prepared to say now that you will not use law enforcement to punish or prosecute your political opponents?
Excuse me, That's what they're using on me.
Okay, so your
Well, wait a
stance is that they started it.
Before you start this.
Yeah, I got it.
Howie, that's what they're using on me. I've got DAs, I've got everybody. They look at me. There's never been anything like this. The biggest case was the one down in Florida, and I beat it 100%. I won the case because we had number one, a brilliant judge, and a judge that moved rather rapidly, and I won the case. By the way, Biden had almost the same case, but he didn't have the Presidential Records Act because he wasn't the president. Just to finish, and he got off on the basis that he's incompetent. Essentially that he's incompetent, and it was a strange ruling because they said, number one, he's incompetent, so he's not going to be. But the prosecutor actually said he's guilty, but he's incompetent. But they didn't say he couldn't be president anymore. That was his bigger problem for not being president. How can you not represent yourself in court because you're incompetent, but you're allowed to represent the United States of America? The whole thing is crazy. But no, they have weaponized government against me.
But are you willing to use the same tactics?
No, I don't want to do that because that's a bad thing for the country. I don't want to do that. I don't know who said. I haven't said that I would, but they have done it. I've got attorney generals, DAs. They're all. Right. You take a look in Atlanta.
You're heavily investigated.
Yeah, they went and met with them. It's all coming out of the Justice Department. They have done something never done in this country before. Now, it's been done in a lot of other countries, third world countries, banana republics, but never done. So when you ask that question, you really have to start by saying, well, they've done it to you. No, I'm not looking to do it to them at all, because that is they have set a very bad precedent.
Yeah, all those people that want to bring that up, that Trump is going to be bringing them to task. No, that's what he's going to do right there. He's just going to be like, hey, good to see you. Welcome. That is what Trump is going to be doing. He's going to be waving at him. 4 years, another 4 years of her. What makes me laugh is that these people forget Trump was already president. None of what they say happened then. She was elaborating. Oh my God. That's awesome. That's awesome. You guys are great. You guys are great. Oh boy. But of course, most voters think the economy is poor. Voters remain largely divided whether they prefer Donald Trump or Camel Toe to handle key economic issues. A major register voters in the survey don't care about your survey. The findings reaffirm that Trump has lost what has been the advantage on the economy. I don't know, maybe they're not paying any attention to what is being noted. Just what is it, the poly market that has been pretty damn accurate as far as what people believe and who they believe will be the next president of the United States, and it's increasing daily, weekly, monthly. It's putting Camel Toe at the bottom, like losing drastically. They found that neither Harris nor Trump had clear advantage on handling the economy and jobs. I don't know. I'd say that Trump has a better track record. Harris has a slight advantage on the cost of housing. Voters are about evenly divided whether Trump or Harris is better on prices for everyday essentials like what drives our economy. Voters, meanwhile, are slightly more likely to prefer Trump on the issue of tariffs. Tariffs is only a small portion of it. It seems that in my lifetime, every Democrat holds office, the economy suffers. Prices go up, taxes go up, the national debt goes up. While I don't approve of everything Donald Trump says and does, I do believe he's a better choice. Voters see Harris more favorably than Trump. About half of the voters are very or somewhat favorable opinion of Harris. Okay, but what does that have to do? Hispanic voters have favorable view of Harris? Really? Like illegals have a favorable view of Harris? Oh no, they said Hispanic voters. Ah, so is it true or fake, false test? It's all false. If you're seeing a poll put out by the AP, it is false. It is to promote one particular area. If you don't believe me, look who does the writing. Diversity, equity, inclusion. That is what the AP has writing for them. They are people that their core beliefs, their articles that they cite to, are promoted exclusively by diversity, equity, and inclusion. Every single one of them. Every single story that I've pulled up today, everything from Israel all the way to the economy, has been written and promoted by diversity, equity, inclusion groups. These are groups that are so well embedded into society that you're getting nothing but one side of the story. The almighty censorship algorithm, and to my FBI agent, you're afraid of our free expression. About half women voters are favorable impression of Harris. Voters are pessimistic about the economy in the country. No, they're pretty pissed off, is what they are. It's not pessimistic. They're pissed off that their food bill, $150 would buy you a grocery cart full of food, and now you're lucky if you can get one of those little hand baskets filled with food. 62-year-old Democrat from Hermitage, Pennsylvania, says he's increasingly optimistic about the direction of the nation. What is he talking about? 4 years of hell during Trump's first term? Of what? Let's see. There wasn't a new war started. 4 years of hell? Russia, that was Democrats. We have some really good people at the top of our government. They're trying to get us back on track. They've had 4 years and they've screwed the pooch. And then, let the Haitians eat it. Overall, the poll highlights signs of trouble for both candidates as they work to assemble winning coalitions. That was a joke, by the way, idiots. I'm talking about you, YouTube. That was a joke. You not get the joke? Trump's strongest issue remains immigration. On other issues, meanwhile, Trump's most consistent advantage continues to be on immigration. No, it's a key issue, but it's not the key issue. Our economy is tanked, and I say this again, and I had to explain it to my wife, which she doesn't. And she's a smart woman. Trust me, she's pretty damn smart, but she doesn't even understand this because of bad reporting. Whenever I explain to her that inflation is increasing, it's not decreasing. Inflation is getting worse. She said, well, it's down. I was like, sweetheart, it's not down. She's like, I watched the news and they told me that the economy has gotten better than it was in July. Like the inflation has decreased. I said, no, it hasn't decreased. She's like, it has decreased. Okay. I don't want to explain this to you again, wife, but let me explain it to you that maybe you're misunderstanding. And I pulled up the article as it was written. And I said, use a little common sense here. Now that's difficult sometimes. Our economy, inflation was up 11% in July. I think it was July, August, it came out that it was up 2%. She was like, see, it decreased. I was like, no. I said, since Biden's been in, it's gone up 2%, 2%, 2%, 3%, 6%, 9%, 10%, 11%. Nowhere in there has it decreased. It's increased every single year. It's increased every single quarter. Inflation has gone rampant. Whenever they say it's gone up 11%, it's gone up 11% of where it was the 2% before that. Whenever they say it goes up 2%, that's 2% added on to the 11% that it was the prior month. Read it again, and you'll see that it's not getting better. It just didn't get as high as they expected. So they reported it as the economy's not doing as bad as it was. That 11% is still there. They just added another 2% on top of it. It's getting worse and worse. But it's hard to explain to the liberal mind because they don't understand this, because they don't read what is being reported. Harris's strongest issues are abortion policy. That's her strongest. That's her strongest issue. No, her strongest issue has been Trump is bad. That has been her strongest issue. Emphatically. Nothing more than that. It has been Trump is bad. Trump is bad. Trump is bad. And yes, somebody asked about this earlier, and it is true. It is absolutely true what was said, and I said it earlier in this. This was what Harris had to say about somebody saying that Christ is king. That is their belief. That is their belief. Amazing, isn't it? In 2020, you weighed 200 pounds. In 2021, you gained 20 pounds. In 2022, you gained another 10. Then in 2023, gained another 20. Liberals think that I only gained 20 when I've actually gained 50. Thank you. That's exactly right. Stage 4 OMB. Shizzy, would she ever watch documentaries proving certain things? No. No, she would not. That's the problem. It's a problem with you're unable to convince people of anything. She won't watch anything that goes against her beliefs. That's not how she acts. That is pretty typical of that kind of mindset. And it's unfortunate. It is absolutely unfortunate. I mean, I would love that if she would take the time to listen to those things, but she's not able to. It makes her very angry and upset. Very angry and upset. Yes, and I let her live in that delusional world. Because whenever reality does strike in, you'll see a major flip. You will see a major flip. And I just let it go. There's no point in having matrimonial discourse over that. None. It's just no point in doing that for the just to make a point or be right. You know, you'll understand this as time goes on. You'll understand these things as time goes on. You have to let people see for themselves, figure this out for themselves. If you try to go out and convince people that are unwilling to be convinced, you're just going to run into opposition, anger, discourse. Yeah. It won't be. It's hard to change people's minds whenever they've already set in their ways. Harris's groups that got a boost from voting groups that got a boost from Harris are still working to persuade voters of colors. Like the blue voters and the green voters and the purple ones, they're just like crayons. They all taste the same. Just got back. Why is it so sad sounding? I'm always so sad. Left-leaning voter engagement groups that saw a surge in support and energy at Harris, replacing Joe Biden in a coup. They're aligning with key pillar of that campaign in the final stretch before Election Day, trying to turn out uncommitted voters of color. Because they're losing. But many of those groups are finding that they still have much work to do to introduce Harris and her policies, which is no change from what they've been doing for the past 4 years. The challenges reflect Harris's late campaign start. No, her coup, you mean. When they refuse delivery of the facts. Absolutely. It's not what we know. It's not what we don't know that gets us in trouble. It's what we know for sure that just ain't so. Mm-hmm. All the colors of the crayons taste the same way. Is what a Marine would say, yes. But many of those groups are finding they still have much work to do. There's a lack of enthusiasm because, well, they don't see it as a change in policy, just the person that's going to be there for a rematch between Biden and Donald Trump. Okay. They also reflect inroads that Republicans have made. The Republicans aren't trying to make inroads with the Latino and the black voters. Let me point this out very clearly. The Trump campaign is not trying to make inroads to black and Latino voters. All that Trump's campaign has been doing is saying what they believe. And you're welcome to join in if you want to be part of it. What is it that they believe? They want to make America great again. If you want that, then vote for us. If you don't, then don't. If you want the same policies that you've had for the past 4 years, then continue voting that way. It's not directed at black or Latino voters. It's directed at Americans. And I think that's where the Democrats have lost their stronghold. It's because people with a bit of common sense are saying, past 4 years, the amount of money that I'm getting paid has not increased to the level of the consumerism that I have to spend money on. And I think that it really scares the ever-living crap out of Democrats because they thought that they had this wrapped up. Activists with the Sembria, North Carolina, grassroots organization that focuses on Latino community. What happened to calling them Latinx? What happened with these activists in Sembria, North Carolina? Or Sembria, NC? What happened? I guess calling people Latinx didn't work. They found many potential voters are willing to vote in down ballot races for state and local offices while leaving the top of the ticket blank. Their feeling is that the closer to home races affect their daily lives, while because they can't. Here's the thing. Whenever they're leaving that top ticket blank in certain states, if you're not a criminal, you can't vote in the general election. You can vote locally, but you can't vote. Also, residences would have to vote in the state where they reside. There's a little bit higher standard on voting regulation whenever it comes to bigger elections. I guess people forget that. What we've had to do is a lot of conversations about trust building. Oh, yeah, like throwing people to, wood chippers. That takes time. Kelly Morales, the group's co-director, is really helping folks see that not casting a vote is also a political decision, and some that they should take. The organization hosted a Get Out of the Vote event, followed by a block party in late September in Greensboro. Harris's position on the border and Trump's rhetoric about the Latino community. What? His rhetoric about the Latino community? You mean about saying that we shouldn't have illegal Chinese crossing the border? Iranian, Palestinian, Haitian? We shouldn't have illegals crossing the border. Men of fighting age shouldn't be crossing the border here illegally. Men of fighting age showing up without women but have 3 kids that don't look anything like them? So he's against the Latino community, or maybe he's actually helping the Latino community by trying to keep bad people out of the country. The group, which endorses Harris, ended up knocking on nearly 1,000 doors during the event. Attendees from multiple counties, persuading voters of color. Oh, that's what they're after. Black and Latino men has become a priority for Harris, not Trump. Trump just keeps doing what he does. With early voting underway across the country with increased outreach to both groups and recognition that the race is likely to come down to 7 swing states. Voter engagement groups saw a renewed sense of enthusiasm after Harris became a Democrat nominee. No, I didn't see a sense of enthusiasm. What I saw was media running this false sense of security, as saying that Harris is something new, but she's not. It's like taking a Ford Pinto that's been ridden hard and left in a junkyard, and adding some Bondo to it, sanding it down and polishing it all up. Cleaning the engine off of all the grease and dirt, the engine that misfires on one of its cylinders, and taking that Ford Pinto and rolling it out and saying, this is all brand new. Because once you scrape below the surface, you realize, no, it's just a rusted out piece of shit. It hasn't gotten any better. It's still a piece of garbage. It's just you polished a turd. At 60, she's more than 2 decades younger than Biden, who's 81. If she wins, Harris would be the first Indian woman to be elected president. But the November 5th election years motivated undecided voters in the battleground states to challenge. We have a mindful exuberance and excitement. There's no excitement around Harris. It's been shown time and time again. Her rallies are very unexciting. You have to have the same 3,000-4,000 people show up that are being paid to show up. It's amazing to me. You have to pay people to show up to show support for your candidacy. Why would that be, Harris? What is that? What your millions of dollars are being spent on? The millions that you guys have brought in through all your PACs, where they haven't been able to trace the money. They come from email addresses, $1 here, $1 there. But yet you don't see anybody showing up to these rallies that you have. Now, they show up to your free concerts where you have Megan the Stallion and all of the dancers show up, but they're free concerts. Why wouldn't people show up, hear the music, and then leave? Because you're not changing anyone's mind. Because, not to be confused with Native Americans. I'm a Native American. What are you talking about? If you live in this country, you're Native American. No, I'm talking about either push start or pull start Indian. Does that help? founder and CEO of Karios Democracy Progress Project, a nonpartisan group. Wait a second. Let me see. Karios Democracy Project. And they say they're nonpartisan. Okay. Well, let's look them up really quick. Let's look them up because we have to. Like I said, these are the people that they're getting these stories from. Our moment, our time, our democracy. It exists to promote social welfare and civic betterment by mobilizing and engaging communities of color and young adults through issue advocacy and awareness of the impact of safeguarding our democracy on everyday lives. From deploying local influencers, surrogates of color, from the Karios Communication War Room hosting Karios Conversation, Listen and Learn Project, targeted media and message mobilization. Democracy Project will be on the go for engaging leaders of colors around issues in democracy in the country, not just one election, but for future generations. Says it's a 501c4 and can accept unlimited contributions from individuals, corporations, organizations, unions. They're not reported to public. Interested in making a donation? Make a donation. And let's see what they're all about. Content creation. Oh, look. Do you notice who this is? Didn't we just show you who that mega church was? Yeah. Remember me pointing out the mega church? Another from the mega church. Another from the mega church. That's who they are. They're unbiased. So what is the KDP community? Oh. They're there to promote one particular agenda. So what is more about them? They say they're nonpartisan. Founded in 2017 as an unbiased and data-driven strategy focused on brand storytelling and policy to advise leaders what they need to think about issues in governing. Based on the values of freedom, a fair shot in the future majority is delivered on this mission and ensured. And then they've got another company that's part of their organization. And if you look at this organization, I guarantee it's going to be diversity, equity, inclusion. So what is all about this? Our moment, our time. What is this group about? It is all about diversity, inclusion. It's groups within groups within groups. This is where you're getting all of your news from. This is what AP is promoting. Okay? The nonpartisan group is focused on engaging young voters and peoples of color. Activists say the biggest obstacle are restrictive voting laws passed in several Republican-controlled states. What do they consider a restrictive voting law? What do they consider a restrictive voting law? That you're required to provide identification of who you are. They consider that restrictive. To be a citizen of the United States, they consider that a restrictive voting law. To be a natural-born citizen of the United States, they consider that a restrictive voting law. Republican-controlled states in the 2020 elections attempts by right-leaning groups to purge voter rolls. What, of dead people? They consider that restrictive? Or they're not a citizen of that state anymore, that they've moved to another state, and there's a possibility they may vote multiple times in various states. Like, that's never happened before. There's been evidence evident for groups such as Asian Americans advancing justice in Atlanta, despite the initial excitement over South Asian is Indian. That's on both sides of the presidential ticket. Usha Vance would be America's first South Asian second lady if Trump wins. Do you think she really cares about that? I don't think she really cares, because she doesn't view herself that way. She views herself as an American citizen, first and foremost. She doesn't need identifiers like the left do. The left has to have identifiers because they need to know. They need to know, are you others? Oh, you're white? Sorry, you're not welcome to this club. While there's an excitement, there's also a desire to hold whichever party is the top of the ticket accountable for what our communities need. In Texas, which closely watched the Senate race, officials says they had removed more than 1 million voters from the rolls since 2021. Imagine 1 million voters being removed from the rolls. This raised concern among voter outreach groups such as Asian Texas for Justice. Well, we could search this group out. Why would they be concerned? Because they are not a partisan group. Their goals are diversity, equity, inclusion. They might have been purged, but would run out of time to correct it before the election. Language barriers add to the already complex process. No, if you're in the United States, the official language of the United States is English. Has been for quite some damn time. If you don't like it, learn language. If I lived in France, I would learn French. If I lived in Canada, I'd learn to speak Canuck. If I went to Mexico, I would learn to speak Spanish. Have a good day, Elka. Language barriers add to the already complex process. There should be no language barriers. Texas has seen roughly a 63% growth in its Asian population since 2012 and has nearly 1.1 million eligible Asian American and Pacific Islander voters this year. But nobody cares. That's the thing. Are you an American citizen? Can you prove that you're an American citizen? Are you legal age to vote? These are common questions that are asked during every single election cycle. Keep it simple, stupid. These are new hurdles that we're seeing in response to this rise in enthusiasm. New hurdles. How is it a hurdle to prove that you're an American citizen and that you're going to support our country? Biden's decision to drop out of the race this summer meant a late start for Harris. No. No. It meant that she never primaried, that she was put into this position that nobody wanted her to be in. So Democrats, you're being force-fed shit, and they're telling you, you have to like it. She wasn't voted in by her populist vote. She was voted in by the supermajority of delegates. That's how she became to this position. She never had to primary. She never got called out. She never had to debate anybody. She's already lost once. She'll lose again. Vote Latino said it registered more than 50,000 people. It doesn't say whether they were voters or legal voters, but they registered 50,000 people in 10 days after Biden withdrew. More than half of this new registrations were for voters that aged 18 to 29. Most of had come in Arizona and North Carolina. Amazing. I think they're telling you something. It seems to me that these voters are from the age of 18 to 29. Wouldn't that be of legal fighting age? Same amount of people that were coming across the border illegally. But they're coming in from Arizona and North Carolina, important swing states, but you screwed up in North Carolina. The group registered over 11,000 Latino voters in Arizona alone. That's about 10% of what came over in that month. With Camel Toe Harris on the top of the ticket, with enthusiasm that is organically coming out of young people. Organically. I see no excitement coming organically out of Harris at all. There's no excitement at all. The charge among donors and folks who care about a robust democracy, well, there you go, because we're a constitutional republic, we're not a democracy, said Maria Teresa Kumar, the group's president and CEO. Good morning, Heidi. Hold on a second. Black fraternities and sororities known collectively as the Divine Nine have been a source of strength for Harris. She was a member of Alpha Kappa 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 Alpha Alpha on her knees, gotta please sorority while attending Howard University, one of the nation's most prominently historically black universities. Well, on a recent afternoon, dozens of students came to Spelman in Atlanta, lined up at the voter registration drive organized by the campus chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha and its brother chapter Alpha Pi Alpha at a nearby Morehouse College. Okay. Caleb Cage, a 20-year-old religion major at Morehouse, said he was there because of the excitement. And if I did search into Caleb Cage, how much you would want to bet I was part of the megachurch that we were just showing? How much you want to bet that Caleb is a member of that megachurch? How much you would want to bet that I pull up Carrie Ann Hamilton, executive producer of the ad, that she also is a member of that church? It's making sure we get to our community, get to low propensity voters, those who might feel like there's no reason for me to go to vote. All of that is important on all accounts. It's about all of us. All of us. Wait. Do you think that if I did research on these people that I would find that they were all members of this particular church? A church that gets billions of dollars every damn year. The same kind of church that has destroyed its community and watched its community get destroyed by being false prophets. Wonder what would happen if it really came out what kind of church that was. Yeah. Wonder. But here's more information that I can't verify or condemn or condone. Florida has nearly all ballots counted on election day, while California can take weeks. And now they're going to tell you why it's going to take months for them to get the vote in. Washington, the 2020 presidential election. Florida reported the results within a few hours of the close of polls of more than 99% of the ballots cast. So did Georgia, but yeah, they said there was no possible way that Biden could win until Rosenberger was cut off. And then they came back and all of a sudden they miraculously had this water leak in Fulton County. And yeah, it was just a drippy faucet, but they shut down the whole building. And then all of a sudden, 2:00 in the morning, all those votes changed. Wonder what happened. In California, almost 1/3 of the ballots were uncounted after election night. Why would it be? The state was making almost daily updates to its count through December 3rd, a full month after the election day. They're preparing you, folks. This wasn't unusual or unexpected. Yeah, it was. California, the nation's most populous state, is consistently among the slowest to report all its election results. Florida, the third most populous state, is generally among the first to finish. The Constitution set out broad principles for electing a national government and leaves the details to the states. The choices are made by state lawmakers and election officials as they sort out those details, affect everything from how voters cast a ballot to how quickly the tabulation and release of those results takes place, how elections are kept secure, and how officials maintain voters' confidence in the process. The gap between when California and Florida are able to finalize their count is the natural result of election officials in the two states choosing to emphasize different concerns and set different priorities. Lawmakers in California designed their elections to improve accessibility and increase turnout. Whether it's automatically receiving a ballot at home, having up until election day to turn it in, or having several days to address any problems that may arise with their ballot, Californians have a lot of time and opportunities to get extra votes in there. It comes at the expense of knowing that the final vote counts as soon after the polls close. Our priority is trying to maximize participation. Really? So you're saying that people in Florida don't participate as much? That's an interesting thought. I guess we'll have to look. What's turnout in Florida as compared to turnout in California? California, which has a long culture of voting absentee, started moving toward all mail-in elections last decade. Mail-in? Why would you do a mail-in ballot? Because, well, can't talk about that here because they will consider that election misinformation. How's that? How does that sit with you? Mail-in ballots require additional verification steps. Each must be opened individually, validated, processed, so they can take longer to tabulate than ballots cast in person. All the more reason for you to go and vote in person. In 2016, California passed a bill allowing counties to opt into all mail-in elections. So, wait a second. Mail-in ballots take longer to count. They take longer to process. It costs more. Why does this make sense? Studies found that the earliest states to institute all mail elections, Oregon and Washington, saw a higher turnout. You think? I wonder why that would be. How about this? You have one day. One day, the United States all comes together in a common goal to elect the next president of the United States. That's a common goal, I would think. Most countries already have this taken care of. They've figured this out, and they don't need voting systems because the old tried and true handwritten ballot works every damn time. Mail-in ballots also increase the likelihood of a voter casting a complete ballot. I don't trust you. In recent years, the thousands of California voters who drop off the mail ballots on election day created a bottleneck on election night. Well, it's bad, it's poor, it's inefficient, but yet you're promoting it. In recent years, the thousands of California voters who drop off the mail-in ballots on election day created a bottleneck on election night. In the past 5 general elections, California has tabulated an average of 38% of its vote after election day. 2 years ago, in the 22 midterm election, half the state's votes were counted after election day. Easier to lose, easier to manipulate? No, it would never, absolutely not, Nanny Goat. It would never happen. We have the freest, fairest elections ever. Slower counts have come alongside later mail ballot deadlines. 2015, California implemented its first postmark deadline, meaning the state can count mail ballots that arrive after Election Day as long as the Postal Service receives the ballot by Election Day. Really. Initially, the law said ballots that arrived within 3 days of election would be considered, and now we just move it up, and we're just changing the valid date that we'll just accept it. Whenever you get it here, it's fine. How Florida counts. Well, since they had the issues in Bush v. Gore in 2000 presidential election, Florida changed their policies. They learned. They settled a recount dispute, and George W. Bush was declared the winner in a state over Al Gore. The state moved to standardize its election systems, clean up its canvass, or on the process of confirming votes cast and counted. Bill Posey, who was a state senator, was sponsor of the Florida Election Reform Act of 2001, said the two goals of the law to count all legal votes and to ensure voters are confident their votes are counted were accomplished by mandating optical ballot scanners at every precinct. The most significant change means no more hanging chads in Florida. The scanners read and aggregate results from paper ballots, immediately spitting back any that contain mistakes. It takes a while for the whole country to be done. No, it takes a while to make sure that you've added enough votes in there for your party to win. I mean, it's meant to be the most free and fair election. No, we have a process, electoral process that happens in the United States. So although the votes are counted, and it's civics, and I'm not really like the best at it or explaining it, but let me put it to you really, really simple. What we have in the United States is we have rural and cities. Okay, so you have big cities that have millions of people, and then you have rural districts that maybe have thousands of people. Okay. The reason they put the electoral process in place was so that people that are living rurally are not dictated by the rules of people that live in cities. Cities, most of their concern is on consuming. They have to have plenty of food, they have to have plenty of clothing, they have to have all of these things. Now, in the rural areas, you have people that their main concern is making sure that those cities are being fed, in a sense. But they also have to take care of their families. They have to take care of their small town, their small community. That's why most of the cities you'll see vote Democrat, and most of the rural areas vote Republican. Now, the big problem that they found out during these electoral processes is those small rural towns felt like they weren't having any say in the direction that our country was going. Because in the big cities, it's easy to say, hey, we are going to tax you on goods that we manufacture. And you in the little pissant towns, you're going to pay for all the goods that we produce. But we want to have all of your goods to help us to produce the goods that you're going to consume. So there was a disparagement of taxes. This is what our first Civil War was fought over. That's what the fight was about one part of the country saying, we're not going to pay for your goods, and those southern states were selling their goods overseas. And that really wasn't appropriate. They didn't like that too much. And so the Electoral College basically was another way of balancing that out, where the large cities couldn't dictate what the small rural communities did. So that they put forth the Electoral College. So it ends up becoming certain states have a certain amount of votes, and the way that everybody's voting in those states is counted. Your vote does count, but they're counted equally across each jurisdiction. So that gives you a much fairer look at the way that the country is voting, not just the way that cities are voting. That's all it is. So I hope that explains it. I'm really bad at explaining that shit. So Florida's deadlines are set to avoid having ballots arrive any later than when officials press go on the tabulator machines. The state has a receipt deadline for its absentee ballots, which means the ballots that do not arrive by 7 p.m. local time on election day are not counted regardless of when they were mailed. Professor of election law at Florida State University College of Law pointed out that Florida election officials may begin processing ballots but not actually count them before the polls close. That helps speed up the process, especially compared with states that don't allow them to process them before election day. Well, they says they may. See, if you want, no problem. If you understand anything about law, there's a difference between may and shall. Okay. So this a lot of people get a misnomer about this. Whenever they say officials may begin processing ballots, it means they may, like they might if they so desired. The difference is they don't have that shall in there. Shall says that you must. May says you can if you want to. They can, again, another may, they may determine the validity of ballots, confirm that they should be counted, and run them through the machines. Morley said they just can't press the tally button, which means it's not that they can't, it's just that they shall not press the tally button. Florida takes steps to avoid protracted back and forth on potentially problematic ballots. At the precinct, optical scanners catch some problems, such as voters selecting too many candidates. That can be fixed on site. Also, any voter who's returned a mail ballot with a mismatched or missing signature has until 5 p.m., 2 days after the election, to submit an affidavit fixing it. California gives voters up to 4 weeks, that means a month, after the election to address the inconsistency. Trump is a very unstable person in my eyes, but I think if he gets voted in, they will do the 25th Amendment on him just to get Vance in there as president. No, that would make no sense. Well, it also depends on what kind of crowd you're hanging around with. It also depends on what state you're in. And a lot of people will lie to you about how they're voting. You know why they do that? Because they want to get you to shut up. Because they don't want to hear it. It's not too long ago. One of my close friends, said, "Oh yeah, I'm totally voting for Camel Toe." I was like, "Cool." And he was like, "Well, who are you voting for?" I was like, "Well, I'm voting for Trump." And then he lost his freaking mind. "Well, why are you voting for that racist, bigoted, blah, 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 blah?" I was just like, really? That's a little odd. I could care less how you voted, but all of a sudden it becomes a major concern for you. Now, this is what you get commonly with a lot of Republicans, especially if you go out to Hollywood. A lot of Republicans in Hollywood, by the way, that they just don't tell people. They just, because it's not worth the argument. There's too many people, as you've seen multiple times in this country, that get upset over the way that you vote. Speaking of getting upset over the way that you vote, look at that. Correct me, old wise one.
See, I've already voted, so y'all can quit sending me them stupid ass text messages and flyers in the mail and all that other shit, okay? I already voted. I voted Friday. Early voting opened in Tennessee on Wednesday. I voted. Leave me the hell alone. Morning, Miss Nocturna.
Hello, Miss Nocturna. Was this a planned excursion?
No. This is just happened to be when I got in this morning. After running errands. Up at the crack of dawn.
Oh man,
I'm already over daylight savings time. I'm already over it.
Oh man, I didn't realize it was 9:10 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah. It is so good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
What do you have going on today besides,
dear
telling
Lord.
these people that they're idiots?
No, they're not idiots. They're just misinformed. That's all.
Yes. Just like you never tell someone how much your salary is, you never tell them how you're voting.
Yeah.
And
never.
I will tell you, if you're working at a company, one thing that employers hate a lot is employees telling each other how much they earn.
Oh God, you want to talk about starting a fight? Especially if you're a new employee coming in and you're getting a nice little bump, and then you start telling everybody else, you will start a damn riot.
Yes, you will.
That's why you need to keep it to your damn self. You ain't signing my checks. I ain't telling you a damn thing.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Oh, you find that out early on in your working life.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've heard plenty of stories of these people just coming in and they're like, oh well, I make this and this. Oh dear Lord, you talk about an HR nightmare.
Oh yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they cannot stop you from doing it, from discussing it. However, would you like to be able to continue working with these people before they declare a mutiny on you? Keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, I watched a new guy come in and he was just like, I'm making this amount of money a year. And everybody looked at him and was like, you shitting me? And within an hour, every single one of those people that heard him say that was in the office going, what in the, this guy's an idiot and you're paying him this much?
Exactly.
It's like, I want a raise or I'm packing up my toolbox and I'm the hell out of here.
Yep.
And they're just like, that guy didn't last but a week. He was gone.
No, that's just one of those things that has never crossed my mind to run out and tell everybody how much I make. Ain't another damn business.
No. Touch my coffee and I'll drink it from your skull.
Amen, brother. Amen.
That's right. That's right. Mutinies. Mutinies. Oh, gosh. It is. This election cycle is going to be crazy.
It is going to be crazy. I feel like with everything that's being shown in the media, especially as of late, you're starting to see how they think things will go.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you had the pollsters that were predicting, within a week or 2 weeks of this during the 2016 campaign that said that Hillary was a 97% lock.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I have never gotten one poll about how I'm going to vote. Never in my life.
No, they only select one way of doing these polls.
Yeah.
They've already got those people handpicked out. They've got their demographic of whatever it might be, whether it be male, female, black, white, Hispanic, Latino. They've already picked out their area. Those people are the same people that they poll every single time. Did you see that Musk offers $1 million a day to a signer of his petition?
Well, shoot, sign me up. If you're going to give me $1 million a day, I'll sign it.
Well, and they want to know if it's legal or not. Oh, speaking of legal.
Yeah.
Speaking of legal, there's only one way to bring this in.
I can smell him from here.
You can smell it from here. It feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it just make you feel like, that is...
He's an asshole. Look at his haircut. Anybody with a haircut like that, you know he's an asshole.
He is an asshole.
I was expecting the liar cut, but
I've got that elsewhere. But
hey, MG, I've been meaning to ask you: did Baker do your caricature?
no, my wife actually drew it on our whiteboard that we use for the kids. Well, actually, no, I think she drew it. It's either her or my son. One of them, they were drawing fate stuff on the whiteboard. I think she did it. Then she added a hat and everything. Yeah.
It looks like some of Baker's artwork.
It does.
So I took a picture of it. It's like, okay, I'm going to use that as an avatar.
Here it is, right
Looks
here.
just like me.
Yeah, it does.
Elon Musk, founder of Tesla and SpaceX and owner of X, who's going all in on Republican Donald Trump's candidacy for the White House, has already committed at least $70 million to help the former president. He's now pledging to give away $1 million a day to voters for signing his Political Action Committee's petition back in the Constitution. The giveaway is raising questions, alarms along some election experts who say it's a violation of law to link a cash handout to signing a petition that also requires a person to be a registered voter.
How?
No, because they do those petitions, sign this petition, whatever. They pay people for that shit.
Yes.
They'll pay them a couple bucks for signing a petition. I've seen it before.
Show me the law where it says it's illegal to do that. Show me.
But here's that's not the problem. Is their problem is this? I think there's real questions about how he is spending his money in this.
Who gives a shit?
No,
how the dark money is flowing.
Yeah, we have to tell these billionaires how to spend their money. MG, come on.
No, they're trying to call this dark money. This is not dark money. This is very much in your face. This is how I'm spending my money.
Dark money is what they do.
No, the dark money is what they're doing. Where you see like the Harris campaign, like their campaign finance filings, where they have somebody has got thousands of donations of a few dollars each, and they have no idea. Yep. That they're like, no, I didn't do this. And it's, this person is on Section 8 and Section 8 housing and has donated $25,000 and 500 different donations. And they're like, no, I have no idea what this is about. That's dark money because they're just making this shit up.
That's why all of these places want you to text them. Have you ever seen those little text 886 whatever for this candidate? That is so they can get your phone number, and they will tie that phone number to those donations, whether you make them or not.
Yep.
They'll tie your email address to those donations, whether you make them or not. What's Musk doing? He promised a $1 million day until the November 5th election for people signing a PAC's petition supporting the First Amendment, which protects freedom of speech, and Second Amendment with its right to keep and bear arms. He awarded a check during an event Saturday in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to a man identified as John Durr. Damn it, why do you got to call the man out?
Durr.
He also gave another check out on Sunday. What's the broader context here? His Make America Great Again PAC has launched a tour of Pennsylvania, a critical election battleground. He's aiming to register voters in support of Trump, whom Musk has endorsed. The PAC is also pushing to persuade voters in other key states. It's not the first offer of cash the organization made. He did purchase, he posted on X, the platform he purchased as Twitter before renaming it, rightly so. He would have offered people $47, then $100 for referring others to register and sign the petition. Trump, who was campaigning in Pennsylvania, was asked about Musk's giveaway, and Trump said, I didn't follow that. I speak a lot to Elon a lot, and he's a friend of mine, and called him great for the country. But see, they were already trying to pull up. They were trying to make.
Yeah.
Well, they were initially, what didn't work for them is they tried going after Trump and Elon to try to get them to hate one another because Trump's not about green energy. Trump was like, no, I'm fine with green energy, but not at the cost of eliminating fossil fuels.
What a concept.
We can't eliminate fossil fuels.
We could do more than one thing.
Fossil fuels. It's just not fossils that are doing it. Or else we'd never find fossils because they'd turn into oil. I mean, come on. They go, this is 60 million years old. Well, why is it not oil yet? It's not. The Earth is constantly producing this shit.
Yes. Constantly.
Yeah, why does nobody ever talk about
that?
How can I keep
the fossil fuel was created by like Carnegie or one of those old robber barons back 100 years ago to make it scarce so he could control the supply of it and the price of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing. It's not a damn fossil fuel. Why do we have fossils if that's the case?
Exactly.
It's not made from dinosaur shit either.
No.
I want to get that bumper sticker and put it on the back of my truck. Powered by dinosaur shit.
It's like the
Dino DNA.
Well, and of course, Michael Kang, he's an election law professor at Northwestern University at Pritzker School
Probably
of
never
Law.
practiced a day in his life.
No.
Those
Not
who
at
can
all.
do, those who can't become professors.
Exactly.
And of course, it says here, typically coordination between campaigns and so-called super PACs has been forbidden. But a recent
Typically.
opinion by the FEC, which regulates federal campaigns, permitted candidates in these groups to work together in certain cases, including getting out the vote efforts.
There we
So
go.
everything
They're getting out the vote.
that they're everything that they're doing is completely legal and appropriate. Everything.
It's just not for their person.
I love how they're trying to correlate this with buying votes or something.
Yeah, like the
It's a
Democrats have-
petition.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all. There's no vote buying. It's just a petition.
It's a petition.
Agreeing to the First Amendment and the Second Amendment are two First Amendments of the Constitution. Well, folks, it is
Yes.
that time. I've got to shut this bad boy down. Everybody have a wonderful day. Make sure you come back later tonight whenever I have a shortened version of today's Sarah Boone trial. Yes.
Where are we going to be tonight?
Yeah, where are we going to be tonight?
Is it expert?
Well, if he wants to
It's
do it,
either
yeah. Otherwise,
I think so.
I did it 2 weeks ago.
I did it
3
last
weeks
week.
ago. You did it last week. Shizzy did it the week before. Yours.
Yeah, it's expert's turn. He needs to get off his ass.
If he doesn't want to do it, I'll do it again. That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
It'll
whatever
just
way
be,
we do
it'll
it.
be a little bit later if I start it. So, yeah, I just don't do a stream afterwards on these nights.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
My
We'll see
wife was
how
not
it
all
goes
that happy that I was up until 3 a.m. Saturday morning driving a truck.
Dude, that was funny.
I was telling her about it yesterday. I said, she's like, you had like a bunch of it? I said, yeah, we had like 6 of us in a convoy driving. I said, and nobody was following the rules. We're going 80 miles an hour in a 55, blowing through. Right, we were running on the right hand shoulder because it's a free right hand lane, weaving in and out. You'd be at a stop sign on a red light, and all of a sudden you see somebody coming up, but next to you just goes blasting through the red light.
Hey, if there's no cops in the game, it doesn't matter.
Well, they'll hit you with a speed trap, and you'll get a $4,000 speeding ticket. I got hit with a $2,800 one and a $2,600 one in the same run.
Jeez.
Because we're doing 80 and a 55. We're just like, yeah, let's go.
Were you hauling Coors beer from Texarkana to Atlanta? That's my question.
I think it was empty pallets.
A pallet carrier.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's the way to
And
do
then we
it.
were hauling.
All
We
right.
were hauling like 70,000 pounds of shingles. And so I was like, "Why can't I pull this hill? It's 65, and I'm only doing 50." I was like, "Well, you're pulling 70,000 pounds of shingles." And then going down the hill, you run up. We were trying to see how fast we could go down the hills. I got about 80, 88 was about as high as I got.
What?
And some were going like, I think Flux hit like 92.
Did you time travel then when you hit 88?
There were times it seemed like it because I was passing somebody at one point and going around a truck, and all of a sudden Vices just nailed the shit out of me.
Oh!
And then he blamed me. He said, "No, it was you." He said, "Why do you think I was there?" He said, "I was stopped. I was slowing down because of that truck." I was like, "You just appeared on my side and just hit me." So we argued about that all night. Two crashed too.
Bless your heart.
I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.